Okay, everybody, here are the answers to yesterday's homework. From lesson 8.3, you were asked to do 4, 5, 6, 11, and 12. And just like last time, one of these 5 questions is the key assessment question that I have also posted today. So as long as you watch this video before you do the key assessment, you should be fine. So, question number 4. A bowl of chili costs $4. Which expression represents the cost of buying chili for B people? Well, these are our 4 options. We have 7B take away 4. We have B plus 4 and 4B. Well, right away, I'm going to just grab my pen here, guys. Right away, I have to figure out, instead of figuring out which one is the correct answer, why don't we decide which one is wrong? Just like we would do a knowledge hook. Well, if we look at the question again, the bowl of chili costs $4. Which expression represents the cost of buying chili for P people? Well, the first thing I would notice is A, there's a 7 in it. Nothing in the question has the number 7. Number 4 is mentioned, and each of them has a 4, but this one here doesn't have a 7. Sorry, this one here has a 7, but there is no 7 in the question at all. So this one can't be this one. That leaves us with B plus 4 and 4B. Remember that 4B is the same thing as 4 times B. Whenever you see a letter and a number beside each other like that, it just means multiplication. So it's one of these two. Well, we're trying to find out the cost of buying chili for B people, or for any amount of people. So if that means if one person bought a bowl of chili, it would be $4. If 2 people bought a bowl of chili, that would be $8. If 3 people bought a bowl of chili, it would be $12, and so on and so on and so on. So which one of those scenarios works with this algebraic expression? Well, let's try B for a second. I had just said, well, if one person buys a bowl of chili, that would be $4, right? So if I put a 1 instead of a B for one person, I would have 1 plus 4. Well, 1 plus 4 is 5. But I should be getting 4 because the cost of the chili is $4, not $5. If I take out the B and put in a 1, I have 1 times 4. Well, 1 times 4 is 4. If 2 people buy a bowl of chili, then I would take out the B and I'd put in a 2. Well, 2 plus 4 is 6. But if it's $4 per bowl of chili, then 2 people buying chili would be $8. And that doesn't work here. If I take out the B and put in a 2, I have 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So that means this one doesn't work, which means your answer is C. Number 5. Evaluate each expression when D equals 5. So for number 5, we find out that D equals 5. All we have to do is take out the D and put in the 5. So our first one, 6D. We know that when a number and a letter are right beside each other, it really just means multiplication. 6D is the same thing as 6 times D. It's the exact same thing. Taking out the D, putting in a 5, which gives us 6 times 5, which means the answer is 30. Easy enough. Let's look at the next one. 5D take away 1. I know that a letter and a number right beside each other means multiplication. Now, you'll notice that when I took out the D and put in the 5, I put that 5 in brackets. How come? If I didn't have the brackets, it would look like 55, right? It would look like this. So then I would see 55 take away 1. Well, that's not right. So if ever, in order to prevent yourself from getting confused, when you take out the letter and you put in the number, you can just put that in brackets. It still means multiplication. When 2 numbers are beside each other, it still means multiplication. So now I have 5 times 5, take away 1. Well, 5 times 5 is 25, take away 1 is 24. C, D plus 1. Easy enough. Take out the D, put in the 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. I have 3, and then in the brackets, I have D plus 2. Order of operations tells me I have to do what's inside the brackets first. So now I have 3 and 5 plus 2, because I just took out the D and put in a 5. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Then I have 3 beside 7. 3 beside 7 just means multiplication. 3 times 7 is 21. Number 6. Number 6 reads, write an algebraic expression to represent the cost of renting a sleigh for $12 an hour plus 35. So, first thing I did was I wrote down what I knew from the question. I know it's 12 bucks an hour, because remember, per just means each. Oh, sorry. I wrote that under the wrong question. Per just means each. So $12 each hour plus 35. Now, I just need to change that into an algebraic expression. My 12. I know each means multiplication. And instead of the word hour, I'm going with h as my variable. All right? Remember, your variable can be any letter you want. I just went h for hour. Plus the plus 35, 35. So $12 per hour plus 35 turns into 12 times h plus 35. Whenever you see the word per or each, it's multiplication. Keep that in mind too. Each means multiplication. So that's it for number 6. Now we jump to number 11. Scrolling. Okay, it reads, Samantha works in a snack bar at a community center. She earns $8 an hour. On her last day, she is paid a bonus of $50. Okay? Choose a variable to represent the number of hours Samantha works. All right. So first thing I did for number 11 was write down what I knew from the question. She gets $8 an hour, $8 each hour. And then on her last day, she gets $50. All right. So first thing I need to do is choose a variable to represent the hours that Samantha works. Well, my 8 stays the same. 8 is the constant. She's always going to get $8 an hour. I know that per means multiplication. And for hour, I just went with h. You want to go with a Q, you want to go with a $sign, whatever. Just pick something. It doesn't matter what you pick, as long as you remember what that symbol represents. Now, B says, write an algebraic expression to describe Samantha's earnings. Well, I know that Samantha's going to get $8 an hour, and she gets that bonus of $50. Well, a bonus is added on. It's something you get extra. And because it's something you get extra, because it's something you get added on, we just add it. So it becomes 8 times h plus 50. How much she earns in a day, plus the extra $50. Then C says, use this algebraic expression to find out what she would earn in 15 hours. Okay, so here's my algebraic expression. $8 times h plus $50. Because that's the bonus. What if she worked 15 hours? So I just took out the h and I put in a 15. Order of operations tells me I either have to do 8 times 15 or 15 plus 50. One of those has to happen first. I have to do the multiplication first. So 8 times 15 is 120 plus that's still that $50. I add those two together, I get $170. And because it's a word problem, I just need my Samantha earns 170. Nice and easy. Remember your word sentence at the end. I realized I said word problem, I meant word sentence. Doesn't have to be anything super long and it just wraps everything together. All right? Lastly, number 12. Jerry sells toques at a kiosk. He's paid $25 a day plus $2 for each toque he sells. All right. So first thing I did was write down what I knew. Well, I knew that Jerry gets $25 per day. So $25 each day. And he gets $2 per toque. $2 for each toque. And remember the word each means multiplication. So question A asks us, what part of his salary never changes no matter how many toques he sells? Well, he's always going to get that $25 a day. He could sell nothing, and he's still going to get $25 for that day. He just won't get any extra money for selling the toques. All right. How can we do that as an algebraic expression? Well, if we look at what we know, the $25 each day and the $2 each toque, that's actually two separate algebraic expressions. But added, when we combine those algebraic expressions, it's going to tell us how much this guy earns. So the first one is 25 times D. Why D? Because that's per day. So 25, per is multiplication, and D for day. The second part of his salary is the $2 per toque. So I just did 2 times T, T for toque. Now you'll notice that I put brackets around each algebraic expression. I did that because each one is separate. How much he earns a day, how much he earns per toque, but combined, when I add those two together, it'll tell me how much he actually gets for one day. Then the number C says, how much would he earn if he sold 17 toques? So I have my algebraic expression, 25 times D, or 25 times how many days he works, plus $2 times T. So $2 for every toque. And the question says for one day. So all I did was I took out the D and I put in a 1. And for 17 toques, I took out this T and I put in a 17. Order of operations tells me I have to do everything inside the brackets first. So 25 times 1 is still $25. 2 times 17 is $34. Now all I have to do is add them up. $59. And my sentence, Jerry makes $59 for 17 toques. All right. So please make sure you check your answers here. Make sure you look at how your answers match up to my answers. If you need to change anything, change anything. And remember, one of these questions is going to be the key assessment. So make sure you watch the video before you attempt the key assessment. Make sure you do that. Okay, bye-bye.